What's up, Airsofters? ACeshighmedia here. Thanks for coming back for my second video. And today I got something that you've probably never seen before. How do I know? Because I've never seen it before until I was browsing e-bike, and I was browsing the HPA non-blowback section. I came across this Tactical Force TF CQB CO2 M4. There's no reviews on it. There's one review on it, but it wasn't really specific. I could not find a single video anywhere on YouTube of anybody actually using this or reviewing it or giving any kind of information. If I missed it and you know of one, please link it. I want to see what other people have to say about this, but let's get to it. Don't be fooled, this isn't an unboxing. I've already opened it, I've used it at the field, I've put some time on it, and that's probably the only time I'll ever do a review on anything is after using it. Unboxings are okay, I guess. There's plenty of those on YouTube. I'm not really into that. I'm just showing you the box here. It says 300 FPS, CO2 powered, 6-round burst. We're going to talk about that 6-round burst. 350 high cap mag, 6mm of course. It does have semi-auto, and it weighs just a little under 4 pounds, 3.9 pounds. It comes with the manual and all that stuff. Here is the gun. It does come with 2 magazines. Like it states, it does say high cap, but we'll get to that in a sec. Getting rid of the box, we don't need that. So here it is. For the price, I wasn't expecting anything great as far as build quality goes. I was surprised to find out that it's actually kind of sturdy, but this is not a polymer, this is plastic. This gun is full plastic construction minus the internals. And the thing about that is you cannot take it apart like your traditional AR platform. These pins do not work. You can't pop the upper off of the lower. You can't separate it in that fashion. That's just mock. Port assist is not functional. It doesn't look like you can remove the rails. And it looks like the gun is made of 2 halves. It's just 2 halves screwed together. So if you wanted to take it apart for any reason, you would have to undo all these screws and then pop the halves apart from each other. I found that was a little strange, but I guess for what it is and for the price point, I understand why it is that way. It does come with a little orange tip here as mandated by government. And let's talk about these high cap mags for a second. These are not high cap mags in the sense that you wind it up and it goes through all the BBs in there. These are actually, it's the first time I've seen this, but here's a reservoir for the BBs in there, and I believe it has 25 to 30 rounds every time you do this. Tug on that, push it forward, loads a whole new set of BBs here, and then you are good to go. Quality of the mags, my first time I used it, very first match, one of the mags screwed up on me. This one's kind of hard to get out. But yeah, one of them screwed up on me. The spring in there went crazy and it came out of the spring channel and it destroyed itself, and that's no good. Luckily it came with 2, so I was able to use the other magazine for the rest of the matches that I used the gun on. I used the gun through about 5-10 minute matches, so I have almost an hour of play time on this thing. I did call e-bike because one of the mags messed up and they did right and they sent me another one. Absolutely no charge on that, so that's cool. e-bike, that's actually not the first time they've sent me a replacement mag for one that's faulty. I had one go bad for my 1911, and then high cap for my P90 that wasn't working, so they've done right by me every single time, so I'm grateful for that. So anyways, load that in there. So how is this thing powered? It says CO2 on the box. That's the thing I was very curious about. The website, the e-bike page, does not go into detail on how that is supposed to work, but I'll show you right now. There's a Tippmann model out there that's 5 times the price that kind of has the same system, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to pop the stock off, hold this button down, and there is a tube, and there is a tank in the buffer tube that you take apart. get a 6mm Allen key. Takes a little bit to get it open. And in the buffer tube is where your CO2 goes. The cool thing about this is that it actually uses 2 CO2s at once. The first one goes in facing down, the second one goes in facing up, and then once you, which I'm not going to do right now because I'm not going to take it out to shoot it till tomorrow, I'll show you that footage, but it's got a little needle here to pierce this side, and then when you push it in, the pressure causes it to pierce towards the end of the buffer, or the beginning of the buffer tube, I should say. And then this has an O-ring on it, and the actual tank itself here contains all the CO2. This is the part I was most skeptical about. I said there's no way that, I'm just going to leave those in there, there's no way that this gun can go through an entire, what is it advertised, let me check real quick, 350 round high cap mag with, on CO2, and I was partially correct. So I think I got through about 200 rounds before the CO2s were not performing as they should, and the way you can tell is that they come out at a much slower velocity, and the hop up has a much greater effect on the BBs. And this thing does have hop up, by the way. The e-bike website says it does not have hop up, but this actually does have an adjustable hop up. It's hard to see. I believe it's a 2mm if I'm not mistaken. No, it's a 1.5. That's a 1.5mm Allen key adjustment. But you put an Allen key in there and you can adjust the hop up on this. It's not very accurate. I think a little bit heavier BB might go a longer way. The trigger pull is actually really nice. This thing will shoot as fast as you can pull the trigger, and you actually do have to rack it back after you put the magazine in to initiate the hammer inside the or whatever it is inside the little gas engine that's in there. And then it has an internal reloading, so it's cool. What else do I have to say about this? Let's see. It's light. It's super light. The heaviest part about it is the CO2s. Even with the CO2s in there, it's still under 5 pounds. I mean, it weighs nothing, but I think it's nothing. See, it does not come with any mounting slings. So this is a zip tie after they used the chrono at the field. I just put a little key ring on there and put my sling on that. Probably not the most secure thing. If you're gonna do this, you might want to use a few zip ties, not just one, but I was just trying to get through the day with it, so that's cool. This has a few adjustment points. 1, 2, hold on. 3, 4. Looks like it has 4 notches there. I don't know if you can see that. It does have flip-up sights that are just plastic. They did help at the field once I had the hop-up tuned a little bit. Like I said, it's pretty inaccurate, but you can pop off shots pretty quick. But yeah, I wouldn't really recommend using any kind of sight for this because there's not going to be a point. Unless you can use heavy BBs and get it to shoot really accurately. I might feel the highest weight they allow is 0.28s. I'm going to try 0.28s in it just for laughs, you know. If it works out, then I might invest in some 0.28s, but I use pretty much 0.20s in all my guns, which is fine. So yeah, let's take it outside and put a couple of shots off, and then I'll show you what the 6-round burst can do, because it's crazy. Let's go. Alright guys, so we're in the backyard now. I still have the CO2 tanks in there from last night, so I'm going to pierce these real quick. Might be able to hear it. There we go. Let's hear them hiss a little bit, just tighten a little bit more. Put the stock on it real quick. Alright, we're good to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to load the magazine with BBs. Let me pull that out just to make sure. See a BB in there, so we know we're good to go. And we're going to rack it back. We're going to put our sights up. I'm just going to give you a few semi-auto shots here. I'm going to try to do semi-auto as fast as possible now. Okay, now I got to reload. We'll go again. There's a little bit of a trigger pull, so that's why I can't get them off as fast as like a MOSFET trigger. And I'm going to show you the 6-round burst. Get ready for this. It's too much fun, man. Alright, now I'm going to set up the target. We're going to be about 15 yards. I'm going to move the camera to point at the target, and I'm going to see how consistent I can keep my groupings here. Alright, so here's the target for today. I'm going to stand about 15 yards away. Hopefully I don't shoot my phone. It might be okay. I'm going to put some semi-auto shots into the little e-bike target right down there. And then I'm going to put some semi-auto shots into the big target. And I'm going to put some full auto bursts, 6-round bursts into it. And we'll see what that looks like. I'll get this a little bit closer. That should be good right there. Alright, now I'm going to see how many rounds we can get out of one of these. See how many BBs are in there. Then load. $21, I believe. I think I counted 21. Let's try it again. We're at 10. 20. That was 20. Alright, so let's give it a little angle here. It's about 21 shots. If you're lucky, you get 21 in there. But it's easy to reload. Again, you just pull this back, pull it forward, you're good to go. As long as you top it off every time you're not shooting, you really shouldn't have to worry about running out of ammo as long as you're on semi-auto. Now, if you're on 6-round burst, that's a whole other deal. But my field does not allow 6-round burst or 3-round burst. All right, guys. So here we are. We just got back from shooting this thing. I expended all the CO2 out of it. By the way, on a fresh set of tanks at the field, it chronoed in at 320-ish. That was the average FPS on .20s. Oh yeah, so a little bit of juice, but not enough to get any good shots out of it. And then once you're done, oops, pick that up later. Dump them out. Load in a fresh set, and you're good to go. So I came back and counted what I had left in the magazine as far as BBs, and it was about, I'd say we went through about 170 through to 200 rounds, which is kind of what I had estimated at the beginning of the video. You could make it to about 180-ish rounds, 190 before the CO2 just starts to peter out. Depends on if you use 6-round burst or not. That uses a lot more gas. Also CO2, so it depends on the temperatures outside. This would probably not be a very good gun in cold weather. This probably will work a little better in the warm summer days if you're taking it out to the field to play with. So this is probably a summer gun. I'll try it out in the winter just to see. Not sure how far the CO2 will get me in the cold. It doesn't warm up as fast, and no, it's CO2. You know what CO2 is. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you like the video, just leave a like for me. Feel free to share this with somebody you think might find it interesting. And I'll catch you on the next one. We're probably going to do a review on, I don't know. We'll pick one and we'll take it outside and shoot it. And remember, guys, please, call your hits. Don't be a jerk. Thanks.